Hi folks, it's Rick Mackey here, just having another day at the park here. Just wanted to share this beautiful day with you. It's unbelievable. Just went from like 40-50 degrees up to 65, almost 70 degrees today. It's a little bit breezy, but man, it's just unbelievably beautiful. So I had some things I wanted to talk about today. Had something to do with all of the ruckus going on in the community these days. I have to put my sunglasses on, a little too bright here. I just wanted to share my thoughts for what it's worth. There's a lot of things going on right now where obviously a lot of information is being shared. Some of it might be valid, some of it might not be valid, but people are, taking it upon themselves to be the expert in all areas, unfortunately, and you end up with a lot of discussions and arguments, and I often wonder the people who are doing this kind of stuff, if their motivations are in the right place, because a lot of the times it seems like as we get closer to this disclosure event, if you will, and these mass arrests and other things that people are talking about, the more and more infighting there seems to be in the community. And I don't think that's a coincidence personally. I believe there are people geared and ready to go for, as we start getting closer, to kind of come out of the woodwork and try to sort of destroy reputations and perhaps, I don't know, just cause a lot of trouble in some ways. Sorry about that. I'm going to adjust my camera here. Now, I don't know if all of the things that are happening are intentional or if it's just personality stuff, but it just seems odd that it's happening all at one time, and it's to such a degree, and just the relentlessness of going after people and their characters and their personalities. And that's not what this disclosure community was founded on. I believe that it was founded on, everyone can have their opinion, but that we really shouldn't be attacking each other. If you disagree with somebody, that's fine. You can have a disagreement, but if you're going to actively dox or harass or constantly badmouth people in the community, I think those are the individuals that have the problem. That's my personal opinion. If I was even attacked legally or whatever, if that was me, I wouldn't be out on Facebook spouting off about it. I would just deal with it. Deal with it the way any mature individual would have to deal with things. And unless you had evidence and some kind of evidence that you can back up your complaints, rather than to just complain and not really be saying anything. To me, that's just divisive. That's just creating more divide within the community. It's unnecessary. The point of all of us coming together, and within my groups specifically, Get Esoteric private group and the Get Esoteric page and my website as well. Mostly the social media stuff is more active, but because that's what people like. They like the easiness of just jumping on Facebook and getting into a group and having discussions and sharing information. And that's what we're all doing there. But every once in a while you get somebody that comes in there that's sort of been a sleeper. Oh, I've been on your site for a whole year, I haven't said anything. And then all of a sudden they start attacking everything. I'm not having that on my site, because there's no point in attacking. If you have an argument or something you want to say, that's fine. But if you're going to come in and say, this has been proven wrong, that's been proven wrong, when it hasn't been proven wrong, then I know you're trying to create trouble. So as soon as that happens, I'm just going to have to release it, because I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, and the community, quite frankly, doesn't benefit from that kind of behavior. So we're just not going to do that. we're going to keep it happy. We're going to keep it peaceful and loving, and you know, do our best at coming together and staying together. You know, we don't have to all have the same opinion on things. That's not the point. The point is how do you express your opinion? Is it done in a way that puts others down because you have a difference in the way that you think, or are you just expressing your opinion and letting it be? You know, sort of agreeing to disagree peacefully. You know, that's what I appreciate, are people who are mature enough to handle things that way. And right now I see a lot of people running around, and they'll be in there on their high horse on their YouTube channel or out on Twitter, you know, putting other people down and saying, well, I'm not going to associate with those people anymore because they're not following what I want to do. If you really need to announce that, just go off and do your own thing. You don't need to announce that. All you're trying to do is cause more trouble and make somebody else look bad. You know, it's like, it's just more passive aggressive uselessness, in my opinion. It accomplishes nothing. And what it is accomplishing, though, is a lot of divide, and a lot of people are upset, you know, over this and hurt because, you know, we all followed you folks for a long time, and you don't realize that, you know, you're hurting a lot of people by your behavior. And again, if you want to come out with information that shows that somebody's a criminal, they're stealing money and they're lying and they're cheating, or, you know, doing something illegal, then yeah, go ahead, you know, put it out there, but show the evidence. Make sure you can put your money where your mouth is, because a lot of these people are just trying to become popular and trying to stay popular and stay relevant. And quite frankly, I think they have issues with trying to be a number one, and I don't care about that. Never have, never will. All I care about is bringing people together, and good people who have a nice heart, you know, that are just beautiful people at their core, that really want to come together and kind of spread that love within the community and let that be the focus. You know, I believe 100% what Corey is saying about this idea that was given to him by one of the advanced beings, that, you know, our purpose in life here is to love one another. It's to learn how to forgive ourselves, to forgive others, to become more service to others than service to self. I'm always like looking at that and thinking about that, but I don't always do it myself. I'm sometimes like, I'm worried about my own survival sometimes, and I forget that I'm preserving myself a lot, but I'm not also reaching out to others and maybe donating when I can and when I really should, you know. And I've been focusing more on paying attention to that, because a lot of the times you just don't even think about it. It's not something you do actively. You don't actively resist the idea, but, you know, if you can do it right, especially now with what's going on with this virus, and people, your neighbors and your relatives are all suffering. It's like, this is a time when we have to come together and do what we can for each other, you know, even if it's just to help, you know, your elderly folks get their groceries or something, or get what they need, and you know, get their yard work done or whatever, things where they're afraid to go outside right now. And we need to be more of service in all these areas. I want to try to dedicate some of my time every week moving forward, now that the quarantine is a little bit, you know, less extreme. I can definitely try to look at ways and different things where we can, you know, be more of service. So, and that's what I want to focus on. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling on at this point, but I really wanted to send a message to everyone and say, look, you know, if you're one of the people out there just bad mouthing constantly and making snide comments and telling people how they should be discerning, and you know, not letting people just discern for themselves. It's like, you know, and when you say that, you don't have anything to back up why I should discern a different way. I mean, it's just not helping. It's not helping. You know, I love each and every one of you out there. I love everybody in this community, and it hurts our hearts to see the divide. It really does. I mean, we followed all of you for so many years, and we've embraced every one of the people who've come forward to be of service, and now I'm seeing a complete about face for many of these folks, and I don't know what to think of it. I don't know what other people are thinking of it, because quite frankly, it's hurtful, and it's pointless, because we're not really, if your heart is in the right place, you wouldn't even be doing that. You wouldn't even be thinking to do that, because you don't gain anything by that. You know, you gain nothing. So I think we just need to take a step back, focus on God, focus on this beautiful world that we have here. You know, nature doesn't worry about what's going on in this crazy world right now. It's still here, still functioning. You know, we can do the same. We don't have to be so fearful of this, you know, or anything for that matter. You know, we let this idea or this fear of death stop us from living so much in our regular lives, let alone when a pandemic comes. You know, this is just another bigger test to say, yeah, you want to be safe, you want to do the best you can to avoid getting hurt, but you know, we can't go on forever this way, you know, because then we're not living. You know, if we're going to live in fear and hiding out in our homes and not enjoying what's out here, I can guarantee you there's going to be a time when people are going to be fed up with it, and they're going to be like, heck with this, I'm going to go out and do what I want to do. And that time is pretty much hitting its peak, I believe. And you know, when you see people getting out and enjoying things even now, it's a beautiful thing. So anyway, I just wanted to do a short video on my thoughts on that, and hopefully we can all just come together and not be so divisive, and you know, focus on the love and do what we can to, you know, reel it all back in and just get back to the way things were. You know, they were fine. You know, and yeah, you might have problems with people, but take it up with them. You don't take it up with the whole friggin' world. Just take it up with the individual you have a problem with. You know, I had a boss like that one time. I would go around complaining about everybody. He complained about everybody. All he did was complain, right? So finally I told him, if you got a problem with somebody, you ought to take it up with that individual, you know? Because all you're doing is that if I go into the office, you complain about all these other people. If I'm not in the office and somebody else is in there, you complain about me. It's like you're complaining about everyone. All you're doing is ruining your reputation. So think about that. You know, don't want to ruin your reputation, and unless you have an agenda, then it doesn't matter, because you're getting paid to do it anyway. So, and there are those people out there, absolutely, no question in my mind. So let's keep it all together, folks. Peace, love, and forgiveness. Let's do it that way.